You'll never know what it felt like, to sit in silence with a heart that screams your name, to walk through crowds with a soul that aches for just one glimpse of your face, to laugh with others while bleeding on the inside, all because you weren't there. All because you didn't choose me, but still. I never stopped choosing you. Every morning I woke up hoping you had dreamed of me. Every night I whispered your name like a secret prayer, not for you to come, but just to feel you near, even in imagination. Do you know how cruel it is, to love someone with everything and still pretend like it's nothing, to smile at your photos like a stranger, when in my heart, I've built temples in your name. People say, move on. But move on from what? From a feeling that lives in my bones, from a madness that holds me tighter than peace ever could. They don't understand. I never wanted a perfect love, I just wanted you, messy. Distant. Silent. Cold. Even when you ignored me, it still meant you existed in my world, and that was enough. You became the rhythm to my loneliness, the reason behind every late-night tear I wiped alone, the what if that never stops echoing, and I carry it all like a badge, not of weakness, but of love, of true, dangerous, fearless love. You may never hear this, you may never feel even a fraction of what I feel, but if one day, in some quiet hour, you ever wonder if someone once loved you with fire, fury, and faith, know that it was me, the one who waited without asking, the one who burned without blame, the one who loved and never stopped. So let the world laugh at my insanity, let them call me broken, obsessed, unwell. They've never tasted love like this, pure, unfiltered, unreturned, and still unstoppable. So I remain, not waiting for you to come back, but staying here, inside this madness, because this is the only place where you still belong to me. Sometimes I wonder, did you feel it? Even once, was there ever a moment where your heart paused, just for a second, and whispered my name without permission, because mine did? Every day. Every hour, and it still does. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to unlove you. This isn't a switch I can flip. This isn't a phase I'll grow out of. This is a curse I've accepted, a madness I've married. You've become the voice behind every thought, the shadow behind every smile. You're the ache in my chest when everything's quiet. You're the ghost in the room I never invite, but never want to leave. I've written your name in pages I'll never show. I've spoken to the stars about you like you were a myth only I knew. And still, it's not enough. Not even the sky has space for everything I feel for you. You are in the background of everything. In songs I once loved, now ruined by your memory. In words I try to speak, but forget how, because your silence drowns me. Even in my dreams, you don't say a word. You just look at me, like you know I'm still yours. And maybe I am, even if you belong to someone else. Even if I never mattered to you the way you became everything to me, this madness doesn't ask for permission, it simply is, and I no longer fight it. There's a kind of love that is soft, mutual, easy, then there's the kind that destroys you, quietly, slowly, completely. You were the second kind. And I drank every drop of it willingly. Let people talk, let them say I'm obsessed, lost, delusional, let them call this pathetic. I don't care anymore, because no one else made me feel like you did, no one else ever will. So here I am, talking to a silence that never answers, loving a memory that never fades, choosing madness, over and over, because sanity without you is just another kind of death. And if, one day, you ever look back and wonder, did someone ever truly love me without limits? Know this, yes, I did, and I still do. Even now, even here. You know what's strange? I don't even want your love anymore, not because I don't still crave it with every broken part of me, but because I know, if you gave it now, it wouldn't be real, not like mine was. I loved you when there was nothing to gain, when you didn't ask, didn't notice, didn't care. I loved you when all I got in return was distance, silence, and emptiness, and still, I stayed, still, I kept loving, not out of hope, but because I didn't know how to stop. Now I wake Up and I still feel you in the spaces between heartbeats. I still reach for you in dreams I no longer want to have. You're a ghost I carry willingly. You're the wound I refuse to heal, because healing would mean letting go. And letting go would mean admitting, you were never mine to begin with. Isn't that tragic, that I built my entire world around someone who never asked to be worshipped, that I drowned in an ocean you didn't even know I was sinking in? I screamed your name in a storm of my own making, and all I ever got was silence, beautiful. Cold. Silence, and yet, I'm not angry, not bitter, just hollow, like a temple abandoned by its god. I still light the candles, I still leave the offerings, even if you never come back, because what you don't understand is, this madness was never about being loved, it was about loving, completely, dangerously, without measure. Without return. Without mercy, and maybe that's my gift. Or my curse, but I would choose it again, even knowing how it ends, even knowing you'll never turn around. So now, I stand at the edge of this feeling, no longer waiting. Just watching, letting the waves crash through me, letting your name fade into echoes. But know this, in a world full of shallow hearts and borrowed feelings, someone once loved you so deeply, so insanely, that even your absence had a heartbeat, and that someone was me. There's something terrifying about silence, not the kind around you, but the kind within, because I've stopped screaming now, I've stopped reaching, I no longer write your name into every sky, but that doesn't mean I'm free, it only means I've gone quiet, the way ruins go quiet after the fire. You still live inside me, you know, not like a lover anymore, more like a haunting, a permanent echo carved into my soul, a bruise that never fades. I see you in places you've never been. I hear you in voices that aren't yours, and sometimes, when I laugh too hard, I feel a guilt in my chest, as if I've betrayed the grief I built in your name. Everyone else thinks I've moved on. But you and I, we know better. You were never a chapter, you were the book, and when you left, the story ended, but I kept rereading it, hoping the ending would change. It never did, so now I live in the pages, in those imagined moments where you looked at me differently, where your hands reached back, where your heart cracked open, just enough to let me in. But those are lies, beautiful lies, and I've made peace with living in them. Because reality was too cruel, reality gave me your back, your absence, your silence, and I was never built for that kind of emptiness. So yes, call me mad, because what sane person keeps loving a ghost? What sane person smiles at a memory and cries at a dream? But this is who I've become, the keeper of a love that never was, the guardian of a flame you never lit, but still, it burns. Sometimes I wonder, when you're alone at night, does something inside you ever ache? Without knowing why, do you ever feel like something beautiful was waiting for you, and you walked past it? Because if you ever do, even for a moment, just know, that ache is me. You may never think of me again, and yet, I carry you like a second heartbeat, not always loudly, but always there, quiet, constant, unavoidable. You live in places no one else can touch, in the pauses between my breaths, in the silence between each word I say. Even when I try to move on, I take you with me, in my eyes, in my voice, in the way I love everything else, carefully, fearfully, never fully, because you already took the part of me that knows how to love completely. You see, I didn't just fall in love with you, I surrendered, piece by piece, without a fight, without you even knowing. I handed over every soft part of me, and you didn't even notice the weight you were carrying. And that's the cruelest part. You never asked for my love, but I gave it like it was yours by right, and maybe it was. Maybe some souls are born to ache for others, maybe I was made to love you. Even if I was never meant to have you, I don't write to be remembered, I write because if I don't, I'll drown in the words I never said, because when people ask me how I am, I smile,